Hello, everybody. So the college football world is starting to heat up with the national championship right around the corner, and some players are opting to declare for the draft early. And there was an announcement today made by Oregon's quarterback Dante that he's going to be returning to Eugene. So I thought I'd make this video real quick and just give my thoughts and opinions to Moore deciding to come back to Oregon for another year. After we saw what happened in the Peach Bowl, I don't think we need to go over it again. I think something that should be said is you can't blame him totally on the loss. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think with how that loss went for Oregon, I don't think it would have tanked his draft stock at all. I still think you look at some of the other quarterbacks that might be on the board. I mean, I'm thinking, of course, Mendoza. Okay, guess what? Winning the national championship or not, Mendoza's going to be the number one guy, because just with what he has done with Indiana in this one season, you know, the Rose Bowl, the Peach Bowl, the Heisman, he's going to win it. Okay. He win it, and by win it, I mean, okay, the first overall pick, because you look at some of the quarterbacks that, you know, rumored to be right behind him. Moore was one of them, Ty Simpson, Diego Pavia, and probably Trinidad Chambliss, even though Chambliss, I mean, from reports that I'm seeing, they're going to sue the NCAA and be like, hey, let's get another year. So I don't know. But with how that one game was, I don't think it necessarily would tank his draft, because, I mean, if we're talking one game being the reason why, you know, your draft stock is tanked, then every single quarterback that is even considering to go out for this draft class, they wouldn't be first or second rounders. They'd be fifth and sixth rounders. Why? Because, we've seen bad games. You don't think we haven't seen bad games at a Cade Klubnik, Garrett Nussmeier? Like, you see what I mean? So let's, I wanted to pull up a fun thing too. When you look at some of the quarterbacks that are on this list, yes, I think it's funny, you know, that everybody's touting, okay, Moore's the number one guy. I'm not saying that he's not, but just clearly with what we saw with their matchup, both times, the better quarterback was Fernando Mendoza. But I would argue and say, even if he didn't return back to Oregon, he's still one of the top three guys. Because I could see Nussmeier, no. Mateer, no. Beck, maybe. I think win or lose in the national championship after, I think Carson Beck as well as Trinidad Chambliss, I think after this playoff run, that has definitely improved, where Trinidad might be a late third rounder, and Carson Beck could be a second rounder, just depending on how things go. But Mateer, I don't know. Same with Nussmeier. I don't know where these two would fall. Cade Klubnik, you know, some of these guys might go undrafted as well. And then I roll down a little bit more. I don't even know who else is on this list. Oh yeah, Miller Moss, okay. Gunnar Stockton. I think Gunnar Stockton is coming back for another year, though. I could be wrong. Haynes King, okay. Who else do we got? Jeff Sims, Drew Pine, Dallin Morris. Okay. So, yeah, there's 34. There's 34 quarterbacks, and these are the top three that everybody's looking at right now. But I'm here to tell you that if Moore wasn't to go back to Eugene, he'd be the second quarterback off the board probably, because there have been enough games this season that has proven, okay, he's one of the top quarterbacks. Now, what does this mean for Oregon going into next season? I mean, we saw the news that Dylan Raiola also signed there, but with how the injury was for him, I don't think he'd play this year. He'd probably redshirt and sit out this year. But I think, obviously, the starting spot still goes to Moore, because there's still that, you know, coach QB chemistry there between him and Dan Lanning. The other thing, too, is I think Oregon, instead of dealing with what Florida's going to deal with, ASU, what are some other, LSU as well. I'm just trying to think, maybe Miami, definitely Indiana, is Oregon has a quarterback coming back. And a lot of these top programs don't. And so I think that's where Oregon has already a leg up for next season. But we'll just see how their regular season plays out. I mean, let's go. You know what? Hell, while we're at it, let's go look at some of the. Let's go look at their schedule, shall we? All right, look at this. Woo! All right, 2026. This is their 2026 schedule. These two will probably be big ones. Washington's going to be a big one because, of course, that's a rivalry. You got 3 big ones at the. You know what? This could be another reason probably why he stays. Is not only with these tests in October, because, I mean, Michigan's going to be a tough game either way. This could be a trap game against Michigan State. But look how you end the regular season. You got to go play your rivals. Okay? Then you got to go to the Shoe. And then you got to play at USC in the Coliseum. And these 3 games, I'm going to predict it right now, will probably be what keeps Oregon out of the Big Ten Championship or not, because those are 3 huge wins that they could secure at the end of the season to go play in Conference Championship weekend, first weekend of December. So, I mean, look, Oregon, with just how the regular season ended for the Big Ten, where we knew it was going to be Indiana and Ohio State, Oregon was still fighting for a spot, pending if Indiana were to lose one of their final 3 games. Same with Ohio State. So they were still fighting for a spot. I would say the same thing is probably going to apply to this upcoming season, where they'll be in the mix with Dante Moore coming back. I definitely think they'll be in the mix, and they will have I mean, you look, they don't have to play Iowa, they don't have to play Oregon State, they don't have to play Penn State. Like, you know, some of these other tough teams and tough games that could happen, they're not there. But with those final 3 games, yeah, those are going to be some big games that determine the Big Ten standings. But that's my thoughts on that. I think it's a good call for Dante Moore to come back and just continue to just improve as a quarterback and help Oregon try to win a national championship. But guys, what do you think? Be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.